to the Big Score podcast. In today's episode, we're continuing on with our Fantasy Blitz series. We've gone through tight ends, we've gone through quarterbacks, we've gone through running backs, and now we're getting to the most important position, wide receivers. Today we're going to be kind of going through our top 12, similar to how we've been doing it lately. Then we're going to move on into some other later rankings with some of our other players. A lot of disagreements. We kind of had a little pre-show beforehand, and there's a lot of shocks on the board. So we're going to jump right in on this, starting out with our 1 through 12. Consensus, 1 and 2. Chase and Puka. You think that's correct, guys? I mean, we all agreed, obviously, but do you think Puka can jump Jamar this year? Barring health, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're neck and neck. They're so close. It's going to be a couple games. They're both going to have their huge weeks and then some pretty normal weeks. Those pretty normal weeks, one of them's going to have a little bit higher. So Puka, I mean, I have him so close. I mean, I'm talking one more touchdown for Puka and he jumps Jamar, or just a handful of catches.
Oh, wow. So they're that close on your board.
They are that close, in my opinion. It's either one of those two, really. Not a big difference between the two of them.
Yeah, I think it's whoever you prefer. That's going to be your 1 and 2. But
it's a preference thing.
Yeah, I think they're pretty much interchangeable. So
is that your cutoff for the elite tier in the wide receivers, or can anybody in 3 through, let's say, 5 squeeze up there and get into a quote unquote elite tier?
Yes. In my opinion, it's Justin Jefferson, only because he's done it before.
Wow. You have him ranked 6 too.
I know. I have him ranked a little bit lower than the guys right ahead of him, but Jamar and Puka both have quarterbacks that were better than what Jefferson ever had, and Jefferson finished above them before. I think Jefferson is talented enough to where he can make that leap as long as Kyler's not, too tied up in his Call of Duty rankings. But
yeah, quarterback is going to be a big issue with Justin trying to squeeze up to be a top 2 or 3.
It is, but I believe in his talent. He's not QB dependent. He can still produce. He's shown that. So I think he'll be all right. Now, if JJ McCarthy starts, I'll be retracting that statement. But that's my opinion on Justin Jefferson. I believe in his talent. But no, I think Jamar and Puka are in a league of their own. Then it's the tier line, and then you go to town to the next little bunch. So
okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I say it's them two, but I think JSN can get up there. I know how y'all may feel about JSN. I think you need a relatively high-powered offense. So I'm on Ross CD. I have ranked pretty high because they're in really good offenses, but they spread the ball around a little bit more. JSN, that volume, that they're not a dominant offense, but they're obviously good enough to move the ball, score more points than their opponents. And they're going to just keep feeding JSN. They have a rookie running back. I know they relied on 2 guys last year. One's going into the season hurt. One's gone. I think they're just going to feed JSN a ton. And, he's crafty. If he breaks a couple of them, some short screens or a weird end around, he can.
Him and Donald showed good connection too.
Mm-hmm. So, I can easily see him some – not just touchdowns, but getting just a ton of yards on one catch or one run. And if it ends with another 6 points in the end zone, I could see him getting up there and being one of the top 2 fantasy receivers this year and replacing one of the guys above him.
No, definitely. Look, JSN's a very good player. I just think this year he's going to have a little bit of a Super Bowl hangover. He's going to slide down the boards a little bit. He just got paid. He's got more things in his life going on than just playing ball. So I think this year he's just going to take a little step back. I know I ranked him at 7, but I could see him easily being a top 5 wide receiver, fantasy receiver this year. He's not going far. He's just not that wide receiver 1 that we saw last year. I'm looking at y'all's board real quick, and are you sure y'all two didn't just copy off each other? Because really there's no major difference until 8. And then y'all start disagreeing.
We're smart.
Yeah.
I think Brad just copied off your analytics sheet.
What? The disrespect. No.
Oh, man. No, but I think out of all the players on my board, I could see CD moving up into that top 1 or 2 this year, barring his health, of course. Dak Prescott is just throwing the ball and slinging it across the field. I know in the pre-show, y'all were pulling up stats. We were going through different things, and it's crazy that CD missed 3 games last year and still had more targets than some of these players we have ranked in the top 12 right here. So if he were to play all 17 and stay healthy, I mean, Dak's just going to feed him. And if you just – that is the game here with full PPR is feed them. Well, the more targets they have, the more opportunity they have to catch balls and score touchdowns.
Yep.
So after that middle slot right there, if we look at 4 through 8, is there anybody in here that you could see having an off year and maybe falling out of the top 12 in that 4 through 8? Because you're pretty confident once you get to that 4 spot.
You are.
Brad, you want to go with it?
Yeah, I'll go with it. It's freaking Drake London, in my opinion. Their quarterback situation just I don't know what it's going to be. I know I have him ranked high here. I believe in his talent. He's a big body possession receiver, and he can stretch the field too. Everything's there for him to play well, except the quarterback, and that offense runs through Bijan, which it should. So, but I can see him taking a step back this year, even though I have him ranked high like I do. He should get the bulk share of the targets, which is a reason why I have him as high as I do. But I don't believe in his quarterbacks. But we'll see if he can. He'll see if he can make me look like not such an idiot having him at 7 here.
I have that same answer for the same reasons. I want to give a different answer. I don't see anyone else being
like. I kind of looked at my list and I'm like, why did I put London at 7?
Because Dan has it, so no.
I think London can be really good. I'm worried about his quarterbacks, and if for some reason they're just, Tua can't get the ball out or doesn't have the strength on it. If Penix comes in and just something's going on with him and his injuries linger, and that offense may not tick. And he just may not get the opportunities. So kind of going a different route. I really don't see anybody else. Anybody, it'd be Jefferson, but
what?
For the same reasons, but there's nobody else to absorb. There's no Bijan in his offense. So I really don't see him falling out of the top 10. Yeah. Drake London, I could see falling out of the top 12. But 8 and up, I don't see anybody else that's really falling out of the top 10. I mean, if A.J. Brown falls to number 11, that's not a huge drop, but I really don't even think he's going to be falling that far. In fact, I think he might finish a little bit higher than where I have him at number 8. But we'll see.
What I want to ask is not so far as much as falling at the top, 10 or 12 or whatever, but Javid, you're sipping the hometown Kool-Aid over there with Olave coming in at 5, man. Above Amon-Ra. Like the highest floor player in all of fantasy football. You just put Olave like bloop right above.
Yeah, I mean, last year he played 16 games. He only played 7 with Shuck, 9 with Shuck. Sorry, no, 8. He played 8 with Shuck. And in those 8 games, he was his favorite target. So why would any of that change? You extrapolate that over 17 weeks. Olave can easily have a 1,300-yard season, 8 touchdowns. Probably over 100 catches. That's a top 5 fantasy wide receiver right there. But then again, while I'm saying all that, my player that I could see easily drop out of the top 12 would be Olave. In my 4 through 8 position. Obviously, these 9 through 12 guys, that's crapshoot. Any of them could fall out. But Olave, I could easily see drop out based on mainly injury here. And you don't want to say that because we're trying to focus on a guy out there playing games, making points. But reality is Olave is a sneeze away from a concussion. He's just been hit so many times.
Well, and you got the emergence of Tyson now. He's been flashing.
He does. But I don't think this year. I think this year Tyson's going to be a pretty good flash in the pan. But I think he's going to taper off as the season progresses. I don't think he's going to expand as the season progresses. I think he's going to taper off a little bit. I think next year's his jump. Next year is going to be the year where you're going to realize, oh, he's actually the team's wide receiver 1. Olave is more of the wide receiver 2, even though we just paid Olave. Olave would definitely be a guy that I could see easily fall out.
Okay.
But looking at the 9 through 12 right here, did y'all pick these guys mainly based on position? I mean, quarterback. Did y'all pick them on target shares? What was y'all's stock? Because it's pretty close.
they're talented receivers. They're not all the number ones. Obviously, Pickens is right there, but we saw what Pickens did last year. Pickens is a number one on any other team besides, I think Pickens would be a number one on some of the teams that are ranked above him. Like some of these guys above him, he'd be number one on those same teams.
Yeah.
Dak loves him. He's going to target him a ton. That team loves for the ball. I like to call Dallas, Cincinnati of the NFC. They have two guys out wide that are both going to get a ton of targets, ton of catches, probably give you a lot of touchdowns as well. Olave, you just talked about, he's projected to have a pretty good year. I think him and Shuck have a great relationship. I could see him getting a ton of targets, even with Tyson coming in. They're going to try and get Tyson the ball, but Olave is going to be a security blanket for him. Just I don't know where to go. I can go find Olave. Nico and Rice, more so worried about Nico's offense. He's a great player. He's going to get targets. Let's just see if Stroud has enough time to get the ball to him.
Yeah.
So, he could fall. He could rise. I think he's really talented. If that offense is clicking, he could shoot up these boards. He could also fall down if they just can't get him the ball. And Rice, I don't know. He's really talented. Him and Mahomes like each other. He's hurt. He's kind of going off the rails a bit. He's too good to drop out of the top 12, but I don't know what to do with him.
He could easily fall down.
I think he'll have a good season, but I really don't know. That Chiefs wide receiver one was just a little weird.
Yeah, I agree. I think as far as Rashee Rice goes, I do believe in his talent, but I just more a fact that I just believe that he's Mahomes is number one. And I think Mahomes will come back healthy and feature him a whole lot more than any of the other guys in his room, because I believe he is the only safe option Mahomes has as far as passing the ball. If y'all watch any of our episodes and before, y'all know I'm an A.J. Brown guy. I believe he's going to have what quite possibly is going to be his best career year or really close to it. I think it's going to be the best quarterback play he's had in his career. And even last year he broke 1,000 yards, and with all the turmoil and off-field issues and drama that was surrounding him, he still had that 1,000-yard season. I think he'll be fine. Nico, like Dan said, great talent. His situation holds him back more than anything. And Pickens is a bit of a head case, but Dak likes him. They throw the ball like 50 times every game. It doesn't scare me that he's a number 2 on his own team. He's still going to produce big. But you, unlike the rest of us, Javid, have somebody in there that Dan loves, but
I know
you're giving a little bit more love than him, and that's Devonta Smith coming in at 9.
Yeah, so Dan convinced me that Devontae is going to have a big – no, Dan has been touting on Devontae all offseason. Just hasn't stopped talking about him. I was honestly, when I got his rankings and I was putting all this together, I was shocked that he didn't put him in his top 12, at least at 12. The fact that he had Nico Collins above him kind of blew my mind a little bit. But, everybody has their own rankings. With Devontae, for me, what makes me put him at 9 is specifically target share. There's really no one else on that team that's going to, suck targets up. I do not believe in Mekhi Lemon. I think he is a lemon. He's going to be
shots fired.
He's going to be like Jalen Rager. I just don't see him fitting in this league. Yeah,
not about him.
Blow.
I mean, what can I say? The last time the Eagles went out and tried to get a shifty slot wide receiver, it didn't work out very well for him. So I think they're going to repeat that same mistake with that same front office. But I think Devontae is going to get target share, and that's really what it's going to be. The main thing that can hold him back from having a top 12 fantasy season is Jalen Hurts being able to throw him the ball past 30 yards consistently and letting him hit those fly routes. He's going to be bracketed, so we're going to have to see how they open him up and allow him to free up and break through. I like Nico Collins. I always have. I was big on him with Dynasty coming out. He's on a couple of my teams. He was on a couple of my teams. But I just don't like C.J. Stroud. He's still a good wide receiver. He can still get target share. I have to put him at 10 because of his quarterback. Drake London, is just somebody who you kind of have to put in the top 12 because he's going to get the target share. There's really nobody else on that team other than Kyle Pitts to get targets. So he's going to get the targets. And I put a Mecca here.
Yeah.
I was high on the Tampa offense before when we put these rankings together. It's been a little bit of time since we put these rankings together. It's been maybe a little over a week, and the turmoil that's spewing out of Tampa right now is just ruining this. If I could go back, I would definitely change Emeka, and I would probably drop him to 18 or 20 or even lower because he's going to get target share. As long as Baker's happy, he's going to get target share, but it's just –
yeah, I think
that offense.
I think we all
would
have
a team just feels so weird.
I think we all would rearrange our list a little bit as of right now compared to when we did this. But with Emeka, even though I don't have him as high as you do, whatever, but I think for the first 6 weeks of last year, he was like wide receiver 1 or something stupid like that. And
he came out hot
as a rookie, yeah. So I mean, he definitely could splash the pan again. And like you said, Baker liked him. So as long as Baker's back with that whole contract situation, whatever's going on, but you're right, you never like it to start off like that, especially once he gets to the media. So.
Correct. And the reason I had him in my 12th position was mainly because Mike Evans left. And somebody's going to eat those targets. And I think Emeka is going to be the one that gets him over Godwin in his 1B. And
all right. Big dog, jump out. We're talking about the Bucks, all right? Baker, the big dog.
Yeah. Is there any final things on our top 12? I think if you look at general ADP, we're pretty much in agreement with a lot of them. We have some disagreements, of course, because we do our own rankings based on our own analytics. But
no,
I think this is pretty much a consensus 12 for us. We're pretty much in agreement. Top 7. Generally.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I don't think there's anything much to say other than that. Like you said, you're going to see most of the same stuff across boards, no matter what platform anybody uses. But I just still think the safest pick always seems to be Amon-Ra. Like he's going to get what he's going to get.
He's a floor guy.
Yeah, he's a floor guy.
High floor.
You can't get one of the top receivers. He can get you up there, maybe not as high, but he's not going to screw your season up.
No.
He's not. You're not taking a risk if you pick him.
He's going to get you 12 to 1,400. He's going to get you 10 to 12 touchdowns. He's going to get you 120 catches. It's like clockwork.
Yep.
Really damn good numbers.
It is.
It's really good numbers. Just not wide receiver 1.
No.
Not overall number 1.
Overall wide receiver 1.
Really good numbers.
Yeah, he's not going to be a guy that's going to win you a championship, but he's definitely going to be a glue guy that's going to get you to the championship.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to go back into our 13 through 24 here, and this is where we start really disagreeing.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Let's argue.
Yeah. Dan finally got his boy Devonta. He decided to not put him in the top 12 after.
But look, now he's on top of the board.
No, you're right. That's why. You wanted to put him at 13 so he could be number 1.
He's number 1.
Yeah, so at 13 here, I had to go with A.J. Brown. I couldn't put him in my top 12. I don't believe in that offense this year. I think the offense is going to take a slight step back. They're going to play a harder competition. Even though they did increase their weapons, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be able to score more points and score more fantasy points. So I think A.J. Brown is a top 15 fantasy wide receiver. But I'm not seeing it this year. I think that it's not going to work out too well for New England overall this year. But guys, in your top 13 through 17, is there someone right here that you think could slip into that top 12 that you're confident?
Yeah, let Dan go with his first.
I'm going to say Smith, but I've talked about him so much, I'm going to skip over him. I don't know why. That's what I was going to say. And
really?
He got paid. He's talented. Okay. That offense, I don't like anybody on that offense.
No.
But
I agree.
This grouping of guys, I have more confidence. I think Ted's a great receiver. I don't see him being this top fantasy receiver this year. He's got all the tools, but he's more of maybe he gets in the top 12, but I'm not going for a guy that's going to jump up 3 spots. I'm thinking top 10, top 5. Tet kind of reminds me more of a Drake London. T. Higgins is obviously splitting targets with Jamar.
Okay.
Ibuka, I don't know what the hell's going on with Tampa.
Yeah.
I talked about Smith a ton. Let me talk about Flowers for a bit. He got paid. They like him. New offense. We'll see what happens. Obviously, Lamar likes him. He gets him the ball enough.
Yeah, Lamar targets him.
He does.
Just if that offense takes off, like last year wasn't a very good offense. If for some reason they fix that, could be Jose Flowers' year. I don't have a lot of confidence in it, but I think it could be.
No.
Go with Devonta Smith on this list, but I've already talked him up. So let me talk to Jose Flowers a little bit.
No, 100%.
What about you, Drew? Who's your guy to jump up?
It's Jalen Waddle.
Okay.
He's going into Sean Payton's offense. He's going to be the most talented, physically and athletically talented wide receiver that's ever played. I say physically, maybe just athletically specifically.
Yeah.
That Sean Payton has ever had. He's more athletic than Brandon Cooks. And so I think he's a player that could easily – he's going to get the target share. And I think he's a player, no matter who the quarterback is, he's going to get 1,300, 8 touchdowns, and probably 110 catches next year. He's going to get fed by Sean. He's going to figure out how to use him in all sorts of ways. There's a reason why he spent draft picks to go get him and not try to sign somebody in free agency or something like that. So I could easily see Jalen Waddle falling in not only the top 12, but I could see him actually being a top 8 fantasy wide receiver at the end of the season.
Okay. That's bold.
Yeah, Brad, I think there may be one guy that I kind of think you're going to go with. So let's see if I guess right.
Yeah, it's easy.
Wilson.
For me, I could argue that.
Aaron Wilson.
I could argue that, but no, it's Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Neighbors has top 5 wide receiver talent, whether you're talking about real life or fantasy. His quarterback situation is hot garbage, but I think if he's going to get the target share, Malik's going to make it happen. I think his route running ability leaves him open, so it'll help Dart develop on that end as far as just being an easy target to throw it to, and I think he's going to get a bulk of the target share. I know they brought in Isaiah Likely, drafted Malachi Fields, but Neighbors is that dude. Everybody was scared in the offseason because you didn't hear nothing about this injury. You never seen any kind of updates on him, and then all of a sudden they start showing some training camp clips and whatnot, and he's cutting hard and sideline grabs and everything. I think he could easily finish top 10. It wouldn't surprise me at all. That could be like a pick where you draft him in I don't know. I think consensus has him going in the 4th round right now or so.
Yeah. For
the most ones that we've looked at and whatnot. I mean, that could easily be a draft winner if he stays healthy whole year, because that's a late 1st round pick production guy if he does what he should.
Yeah, I buy that. He's
awesome. No, I do.
He's healthy.
His knee scared me, and that's kind of why I dropped him down. I just didn't think he was going to start the season very hot. But I mean, the rumor mill coming out from camp is that he's good. Yeah, he's full strength, ready to go. We'll see, obviously, but
I have him after Wilson right here just because of that scare. But yeah, if he's good to go, he's going to be shooting up a lot of people's boards.
Definitely. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say another guy that we're pretty average on, but I think all of us agree on his talent. It's just his situation that holds him back, and it's kind of funny you say that because everybody on his offense at least is freaking top tier. It's T. Higgins. Like on any other team, we talked about Pickens could be a number 1 almost anywhere he went. I feel like T. Higgins is the same thing. The poor guy just has Jamar Chase on the other side of the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, I have T. Higgins and George Pickens right next to each other because I think they're essentially the same player on their team. Yeah. They are the Robin to the Batman wide receiver that's on the other side of the field. So they're going to – even though last year George Pickens got more target share, CD missed some games. Does he get more target share if CD doesn't miss those games? I don't think so. So I think T could easily – if T was on his own team, he would be a number 1 wide receiver.
Yeah.
He's just he chose to stay in the situation because he loved playing with Burrow and Chase. And look, can't blame the guy. He still got paid.
He's still
making money,
performing as a top receiver as well.
Yeah.
And he's another one where, like, you know, you know what you're going to get with T. Higgins. He's going to
Yeah.
be consistent and
High
whatnot.
floor.
And you hate to say it, but if Chase goes down, that's like all of a sudden 10 to 12 more targets a game shifts his way, and he puts up some big numbers.
I have often drafted both Chase and Higgins and been perfectly fine.
That's right.
Not the best route to go, but T has great standalone value. He's a great receiver. He still puts up numbers. He gets touchdowns. Burrow likes to find them in the red zone. Not that he's necessarily touchdown dependent, but you will get a lot of touchdowns with him in your lineup.
Yeah.
No, definitely. And so on this list right here, would you say T. Higgins is your best veteran floor player on this 13 through 24? Like that guy as a veteran, I'm guaranteed to get this amount from him this year in fantasy.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he's that good floor player. Yes. Everybody else.
The only guy I would argue, if you're talking veterans, is Devontae Adams, but he's way too touchdown. He's way too touchdown dependent.
He is
now.
He's not going to get you that.
He's not going to get you. No, he's not going to get you 1,000 yards. He could get you 15. I don't think he's going to get you 1,000.
You don't think he's going to get 1,000 this year?
Devontae
with all 17?
No. Devontae's I think 800 max.
I was thinking 750.
Yeah.
Right there with you.
Like an 85, 810 touchdowns.
I'm thinking more like 65 to 70.
Oh wow,
800.
So just a red zone threat now. You think he's fallen that far in his career?
I don't think it's fallen. I just think he don't have to do it. Like Puka's out there, and Devontae's
got the running game. They got all the tight ends.
Devontae's just he's crisping his intermediate route game right now, and that's all Stafford needs him to be. And Stafford's good enough to get the ball to him in the accurate spot, and he's got hands. Like Devontae's not going to drop it. So
no.
If he can get just a little bit of separation, and clearly last year they had the red zone connection. I think he had 14 TDs or whatever. So I can see him reproducing just like that. And the offense is good enough to where he can still have 12 to 15 receiving touchdowns. But T. Higgins, in my opinion, he might not get the 12 to 15 receiving touchdowns, but T could get you that 1,000 to 1,100 yards, 1,150, and that 8 to 10 touchdown range.
That's a good choice. That's who I was going to actually lean with. I thought he would actually be the one to choose there for the floor.
Devontae
Adams, of course, but Devontae Adams.
Yeah. No, I agree. But at the bottom of the list, y'all had Vlad McConkey. I have him a few slips higher than y'all. Do y'all think he comes back to relevancy? Because he kind of fell off last year.
I definitely think he comes back to relevancy. I just don't trust him enough yet to rank him higher than some of these other guys. I'm also have him lower than Zay Flowers. I couldn't put him in front of Malik. I think McLaurin's going to get a lot of targets, and I think DJ Moore is going to enjoy being in Buffalo and getting away from that situation in Chicago.
He's the one where I don't really know what to do with this year, if I'm being honest.
Well, yeah, you didn't include him into your top.
I didn't. I haven't believed in a Josh Allen receiver since Diggs left.
I think DJ Moore could be, a higher wide receiver too. I don't think he's going to, crack the top 12. But I think he'll be a good, reliable option for Josh Allen. I don't think climbing too high up, but still, closer to 13, 14, 15 range. Ladd, I do not feel the same way. I think Ladd could fall out of being a wide receiver too. I like Quentin Johnston. I like Trey Harris. I like Ladd. He's not a bad receiver. We talked about Arondé Gadsden. I still think that Omarion Hampton's going to be fantastic here. There's so many guys in that offense that are so good that no single one of them, outside of maybe Omarion Hampton, being one of the top running backs, everybody else seems to just be – they're all going to be good, so no one's going to be great. No one's going to be the Amon-Ra on that team. They're just all going to be good. And I think that leaves Ladd more as a wide receiver 3. Got the talent to be a wide receiver 2.
Of course,
I still think it's more low end 2. But I actually think he falls a little bit more than this. Still have him ranked higher, but I think at the end of the season, we'll see that ranking drop a tad. A tad for Ladd.
So getting to the bottom end of this right here, at this point in your draft strategy, you seeing like where's your cutoff on flex? Like where's your wide receiver 2 flex cutoff? Like if I'm getting to like my board is looking at DJ Moore, I think we're in a flex position. I should have taken a receiver higher.
I want 20 and up as my wide receiver 2.
Okay.
And like I've talked about Garrett Wilson before. He's got the talent. If he's my wide receiver 2 because I went and drafted other people first, cool. If I have him as a flex, awesome. But I don't want to have to start Terry McLaurin at wide receiver 2. I don't want Adams or Moore McConkey as my wide receiver 2. I'm trying to grab somebody higher. I want to try and fill that position.
Yeah. On my personal list, it's 18. On my personal list, it's spot 18. After that, it's like, to me, that's after 18 on my own personal list, I'm looking at flex players. So, I mean, Rome, I believe he could be like a wide receiver 2, or I would view him as a wide receiver 2. But like you said, we made this list a week ago, and the emergence of Luther Burden within the last 7 days has been, really starting to creep on my list. And I think once we get to the end of this episode, y'all will see the spread that we all have on that one specific player. But
we drastically disagree on Chicago's wide receiving room.
And the way Dan just talked about the Chargers receiving room, I kind of view Chicago's receiving room like that as of today. Not quite when I made this list.
But let's see. Yeah, I almost feel the opposite. Like, and we're going to get to it, but I see Rome right there. I think Rome has the talent to be a top 12 receiver. Yeah. I don't know if he's going to have the opportunity this year, but if he does, I'm not a big fan of Luther Burden. I don't really see him encroaching too much on that. I think they're going to try it out. And that's going to hurt Rome's numbers to begin the year. I think come the end of the year, you'll see who the number one target on that team should be, even outside of Loveland, and it is Rome. It's going to hurt his numbers to start the year, but end of year, I want to see Rome as a top 12 receiver.
Yeah, I think the number one target getter in Chicago by the end of the year is going to be Colston Loveland.
Yeah, I agree. It's Colston.
To be honest, it's not going to be any of the receivers.
It'll be Rome. Don't worry.
Yeah, so I'm sitting here at 20, 21, and 22, and any of those, I could argue both ways of, yes, they're viable wide receiver 2 on your fantasy team, and also, no, you should be resorting these guys to flex guys. You should have gotten somebody in my top 20 as your wide receiver 2 instead of trying to get running back heavy or going after a tight end before you were able to get one of these guys. So I would sit here and put my foot down at Malik right now because I think Malik is low. I would put him higher if I had a chance to redo this. So I'm going to stop my list right there and say, if you can get Malik Neighbors, at the 22, wide receiver 22 on the draft board, you're going to be fist pumping. Even with his very bad quarterback situation, he's going to get target share.
Yeah.
He's going to get yards. He's going to get receptions. So he's going to
he could outperform your wide receiver 1.
He could. He really could.
Yeah.
Any last words on here for these guys in our 13 through 24?
No, we can move on to the next batch, and I want to see where y'all put some guys that I have on the end of my list right here. See where y'all have.
Before we get over there, now we really do appreciate y'all joining us and going through all these rankings with us. We're trying to get all these fantasy rankings out to y'all, trying to help you win your league. So if you enjoy the video, please like and subscribe, and we'll keep putting out this fantasy content for y'all. So yeah,
and look, Brad,
26 50
right there, only a couple spots down for me.
Who was that?
BTJ. I know who you were looking for.
Yep, I was looking for BTJ.
No, that's not who he was looking for.
BTJ. I was looking for BTJ. Who do you think I was looking for?
You were looking for Mekhi Lemon.
No. Who?
See, I'm nice enough to rank him at least.
You are.
He's going to get thrown to. I just think he's a bad receiver. It's Mekhi Lemon. No, okay, so when you get into this list right here, 26 through 50, I hope you already have 2 wide receivers on your fantasy team.
You would
Do y'all
hope.
agree?
Yeah.
If one of these guys,
the way I draft, by the time I get to 13, I hope I have 2 wide receivers on my team. But these guys, if one of these guys is your wide receiver 1, I hope you have like 3 bona fide running backs. I hope you have 3 bona fide running backs on your team.
I said wide receiver 2 because you could wait off until like round 5, 6, 7 to get your wide receiver 2.
Hey man,
if you're waiting to 5, 6, 7 to get your wide receiver 1. Good Lord, I hope you drafted Brock Bowers, Trey McBride.
I was about to say you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised somebody might have Josh Allen, McBride, freaking I don't know, Saquon and Genty on the back end doubled up. You never freaking know, man.
Yeah. No, but sitting at this list right here, there's a lot of disagreement. Obviously, we're getting into kind of your position of who you like better, just personally, and it's kind of getting away from more analytical stuff. Although Dan probably went straight analytics, I started getting into, I really think this guy's gonna have a good season, or well, I really don't think this guy's gonna have a good season. So I don't know. Is there somebody on your list that you regret putting him where you did and wish you would have moved him up or down the list on yours? We'll start with you, Brad.
Yeah, I do wish I would have had Jalen Waddle a little bit higher than what I have him here right now.
26.
I
would love him right there. If I can get him as a flex.
Oh yeah, well, I do wish I had him higher right here. Like you said, Peyton did trade for him. Being that we are New Orleans guys, I just viewed him more like a Brandon Cooks type player, and that's not any kind of dog or anything on him. But
no, of course not.
But there was only one receiver in Sean Payton's history with us anyway that eclipsed like 1,200 yards, and it was Michael Thomas, and he had one of the best seasons of all time. I compared Waddle to a Brandon Cooks type player, and he was a 90 catch, 1,100 yard, 8 touchdown guy, and that's what I thought Waddle would be.
Yeah.
I didn't think Cortland Sutton would fall off much because he was more in that Colston type role, possession receiver, big body. I think he was still going to get his fair share of targets. But yeah, I do wish I had him higher because you're right. I think Peyton going out there and trading what he traded for him, them being as close to or on the cusp, on the cusp to the Super Bowl where they were, he said we need another dynamic piece to make our offense a little bit better because their defense was solid. So I think that's why he went out there and got that piece.
He looked at Troy Franklin, he looked at Marvin Mims and was like,
he did. He looked at his number 2 receiving option outside of Cortland Sutton, and he was like, "What am I doing here? We need another mouth." And they went.
Like little Jordan Humphrey. Oh my God, why am I throwing him?
Yeah, when you're starting to pull Saints practice squad guys from your days of past, you need to freaking address the situation at hand.
Yeah.
But Dan,
you have somebody.
He got JMO right there at 26, man. That could be like the same player as Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, I like Jameson Williams a lot. I mean, I like him where
that's not true.
Dude, he did great last year, and I know Javid thinks he's gonna have a fall off because Isaac Tesla getting more targets, but Jameson Williams is super talented. He could be more of a wide receiver too, but not a bad flex play at all. If I can get him in my flex, I'm happy with it. Again, a guy that can not gonna have that nice floor like Amon-Ra has, but he had some really big games.
Yeah,
I don't see anyone else. Like, I like where all my guys are ranked. I think some of these guys can outperform where they are. Like, if Carnell Tate comes out and just really develops a relationship with Cam Ward, he can obviously shoot up these boards. Christian Watson, I think they spread the ball too much in that offense to be anything much higher than a flex play. If he gets in a wide receiver 2 range, good.
I think he gets hurt too much, man.
I'm saying if he's healthy. Everybody's talking up Parker Washington.
No.
I think BTJ is going to outperform. Luther Bird, I think, will go down the board a bit come year end. Overall, I think his stats will be higher than Wandale's, but they're going to try and force feed him the ball early in the season. He's going to get targets. He's going to get catches, but towards the end of the year, they're going to realize who they should be targeting. And I realize we didn't have our number 25 ranked. Because where do I have Rome? He wasn't on the last slide. We had up to 24, and we just jumped the last 50 or last 25 guys. So our top 25 That's why you did not see Rome.
No, good point. Who the hell was my 25?
I think you have JMO. You have JMO at 25. I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, I think yeah.
So yeah, I think they're going to be closer in overall stats, but it's going to be more front of the year heavy. And the similarities between Luther Burden and Romo Dunze, end of the year, there'll be a drop off. So if you want to get Luther Burden and have him in your flex start the year, good for you. But towards the end of the year, you might want to drop somebody else. That's just what I think is going to happen. The only person I really see on this rankings that I want to change is number 50. I'd put Casey Concepcion there instead of Mekhi Lemon. Again, all dart throws. I just think he'll end up getting a lot more targets. Casey, I think he's going to get a lot of targets. Again, hate his quarterback situation, but they're going to find a way to give him the ball. And I don't think Mekhi's going to get the ball as much.
Casey,
everybody else, yeah, he really is. So he's someone I could see being a higher end flex play, especially come playoff time in your leagues. Everybody else, it's kind of just who you like. I think Josh Downs will be, probably outperforming Alec Pierce towards the end of the year. Wandale, I don't think he's going to have the year that he had last year. All have good seasons, but Brian Thomas Jr. is the only one I think that could really outperform.
Y'all keep y'all's attitude with Brian Thomas Jr. I had him in the slide above that. Y'all want to spread the hate. You keep that.
He's if he has the season that we think he could have, it could be a wide receiver too. So
yeah, he's got to get out of the doghouse first because he got put in the doghouse for some reason that we're not aware of, and he needs to either break out or get on a new team.
I think he was pissed because they were like, y'all playing his cornerback at receiver and giving him my targets. Get his ass on the defensive side of the ball.
I completely agree with that. Travis Hunter should never see the offensive side of the ball. He could literally be.
Clearly, he didn't make any of our list. Top 50.
No, God, no. I wouldn't even touch him in redraft leagues. I wouldn't touch him in dynasty.
I might have him above Jawan Jennings. I'll give you that. You'll both have Jawan Jennings at 50. Gross. That's gross.
I would not.
That's gross.
I would rather have Jawan Jennings than Travis
Hunter. I believe in Jawan Jennings' receiver talent better than I do Travis Hunter's receiving talent.
I just don't believe in Jawan Jennings. Not that I believe in Travis Hunter very much. I do not believe in Jawan Jennings.
No, but another guy that's been really disappointing, and we all kind of have him close to the same spot, is Maserati Marv. Man, what the heck's he going to do this year? Is he going to freaking break out? What's going on?
So that's one player that I could easily see move up the board really quickly if he learns how to catch the ball. Because for some reason, he just can't catch it. And I don't know what's going on. He's got the yips.
They're slow playing him in training camp.
Yeah, he's got the I made it to the NFL attitude still. You can call it he was a rookie last year, so maybe he was a little nervous. I don't know why he grew up in the NFL with his dad playing. I don't really quite understand what happened, why he had such a major drop off from Ohio State. But man, that dude just going into his third season now.
Yeah,
going into his third season this year, he's just that's I got that mixed up. But going into his third season this year, I hope he steps up. And maybe it's the quarterback situation. He's really never played with a good quarterback.
No, it's been a shit show over there.
So maybe it's the QB
this year.
No, Carson Beck looked good in that Hall of Fame game. I mean, Carson Beck looked good in the Hall of Fame game. I mean, what you going to do? You're going to start Jacoby Brissett? What you got?
Nathaniel Hackett. He's going to start Jacoby Brissett and Tyler Algier and James Conner. I wouldn't be shocked if he benched Trey McBride for over there. His backup is.
If that's the case,
there'd be revolt.
There was total anarchy in freaking Arizona.
It would be anarchy. They would have picket signs in front of their
another guy.
Russell Wilson. Hey, you want to come play in Arizona?
Another guy y'all have right in here, and I had him in the slide previous, is Carnell Tate. No love for the rookie, man. Come on.
No love for Cam Ward. I think that's more.
Yeah, it's really a quarterback thing. He's going to get targets.
And
he's
exactly.
a talented player, but I just don't know. They consider a target when the ball is thrown in your vicinity, then not necessarily to your hands. So, how many are actually going to be able to hit him in the hands is what I'm worried about with Cam Ward.
Well, is it one of them situations where you think his team's going to be bad enough it's garbage time?
You know,
Even in garbage time,
if,
you can throw it.
I could see that. You could convince me to take him in like the 13th.
I mean, I hear you're talking about, like, in my opinion, this is like wide receiver 4 range on like my team. So it's like,
I like Carnell Tate. I think he could have a good year. Like I said, I think he could be a wide receiver 2 at some point if Cam Ward develops. I think Cam Ward could be, CJ Stroud might be better than Cam Ward.
Cam Ward didn't have nothing to work with last year.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, that's true, but I don't know.
He didn't. But
Calvin Ridley came out of retirement to go play with him. I mean, that's how bad
Cam Ward seems like he likes to play off schedule. I know Brad Javid likes to talk about how Caleb Williams likes to play off schedule. I know Cam Ward's running for his life. He's throwing a ball across the field. He's got a cannon, but he doesn't seem like he just get the ball and throw a pass right away. He's got to scramble. He's got to run, and he throws it to whoever. And I think Gunnar Helm will be good for that. Just he'll be closer to the quarterback and just throw a dart right to him and get 8 yards and go down. Carnell Tate's going to be trying to run a route and then just have to start playing schoolyard ball. I don't know. I like the talent of Tate. I think he could have upside. I would take him over Parker Washington, who people are thinking he's going to be wide receiver 1 in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I don't get that.
I don't know how high Carnell Tate can take you with Cam Ward.
Yeah. What about a player that's not on your rankings that could sneak into the top 50?
Diggs.
Yes.
That's actually really. I mean, that's not who I was going to pick, but that's actually a really good one. He came out of nowhere and signed with Washington.
For all you people watching, this list was both of these lists were made before the news that he did sign with Washington. So obviously,
and I'll give a real one though is Khalil Shakir. He's been in Buffalo long enough. He doesn't have to be their number 1 this year. I could see him being a solid number 2 in that offense. Josh Allen just giving him some targets. He could be a solid NFL wide receiver 2. Translates to a good wide receiver 4 in fantasy. I can see him being a top.
Cole Beasley. That's how I look at him.
Oh, there you go. That's a good comparison. But yeah, I could see him cracking a top 40, top 45. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be someone you want in your wide receiver 2 position coming year end, but someone that could definitely crack the top 50 for sure.
Yes, the one player that I didn't rank that, looking at the list now, I wish he would have been in the list, and I could have taken some players out easily now that I'm thinking about it. Also, Ricky Pearsall got hurt, but that is Matthew Golden, who I think, even though Christian Watson is paid and is the wide receiver 1, I think the front office is going to try and make Matthew Golden the 1A wide receiver.
He's got the talent. Yeah, he's got the talent.
He does. But yeah, any other final things on our rankings? We're going to go into a little bit of a split the room thing and argue about Chicago for another 10 minutes. But
yeah, let's move on. Let's move on to the spread.
All right.
Good God. Look at Luther Burden.
Luther Burden and Roma Dunze. We dramatically disagree with these. And mainly it's me versus y'all two because y'all both use the same rankings spreadsheet.
No, it's really you versus me because Dan's in the middle, which is where probably
Well, no, Dan is
Dan's
that's
in the middle.
Hey, wait, you're right, Dan. You're at 34.
Yeah, I'm right in the middle because I think they're going to try and get him involved early in the season, and it's not going to work. So his stats, his fantasy value is going to be higher to start the year, which is going to put him around wide receiver 34 by the end of the year. Odunze is going to, again, start off kind of slow because they're trying to get Burden involved, and he'll pick up steam. And then by the end of the year, on a weekly basis, Rome Odunze will be performing as a top 12 receiver, top 15 receiver. But overall, he'll only be wide receiver 25, looking at the entire year's stats. But come playoff time, you're going to want Rome on your team.
Yeah, I disagree.
That's why
Luther is more talented. Yeah, no, Luther is more talented. He's a more overall complete wide receiver. Yeah, he is.
Who was the first round receiver that busted his ass on the cone drill multiple times?
Jalen Rager was a first round wide receiver. That doesn't mean anything. These NFL GMs fail all the time with wide receivers. Yes,
they do.
Luther Burden should have went in the first round.
In my own opinion,
no, he should have not. He should have went in the 5th round.
Shut up.
Oh.
Continue talking. Okay, I'll stop. You make your
Go,
points.
Brad.
No,
Go, Brad.
the point is, I have Roma Dunze high and Luther way down here. I made this list at the beginning of August. I'd probably have them pretty close to one another, but what triggered my comment was when Dan said, come playoff time, you're going to want Roma Dunze on your team. And the more I think about it, come fantasy playoff time, I don't know if I trust any Chicago receivers to start.
Oh, no.
It's going to be somebody's going to have the hot game and somebody's not, and you're just going to roll the dice with which one it's going to be.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
But
I wouldn't want to start either of them.
I'm more favored on Dan's side, where I think Odunze is the better play if I had to choose one. But as the weeks have progressed since we made this list, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to touch either one of them unless I have to.
Yeah. So the only thing that's going to hold Luther back is, right before the recording today, I did read that he has a groin injury right now, and he's going to be down for the rest of camp. So he's going to be able to ramp back up the week of Labor Day week going into week 1. So they're saying he's going to be back week 1, but he's going to be out for the next 2 to 3 weeks. So he's going to lose a little bit of time with Caleb, and that's probably going to allow Rome to jump him
build that
initially.
Connection. Yeah.
Yep. But I think once the season starts and they're both healthy, Burden's going to everyone's going to realize Burden's a more talented wide receiver. He's going to get the target share.
I want to jump through the screen and smack you. You need sense smacked into you.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault. You're touting Jalen Rager. He's terrible. But
what about DK? He's the next biggest spot spread. Yes. You, you the lover boy.
I do.
DK.
I do, and that's because who else is Aaron Rodgers going to throw to? I don't trust Michael Pittman.
Wide receiver 1 by year.
Well, I can.
He's going to get more targets. Pittman's going to be his more reliable go-to guy.
Yes.
DK may have more yards. Pittman's going to have more targets, more receptions.
Pittman got tossed to the curb in Indianapolis.
They wanted to pay Pierce because him and D'Angelo have that weird go deep connection.
Yeah, they probably tag teaming chicks on the side, but
Jesus.
DK is just Alec Pierce, and we saw what Pittman outperformed Pierce. Pittman will outperform Metcalf.
Rodgers wants somebody that's going to know how to run his route and be at a certain spot at a certain time. That's not DK. That's Pittman.
So I do agree with that statement. Rodgers does like that. So
because last year
I can see that point.
Yeah, last year he was clearly frustrated with DK running.
Because DK's not a type of receiver. DK's I'm going to run you over receiver. Yeah, and he is getting up in age.
Yeah, I think that's why. And I think that's why we've talked about it in other videos past and just collectively amongst ourselves. I think Pittman could win people some leagues drafting him as late as you can, because you can get him in like the freaking, 12th round or whatever it is. So I think, I'm not saying he's going to have like a resurgence year with Rodgers, both of them being on the back end of their career, but he's definitely going to outperform DK.
No, that's fair. But the one that sticks out for me, even though it's only a 12-point spread, is the egregiousness of you putting Jalen Waddle at 26 and not even having
put him at 26. Well, I said earlier, I said I would move him up. When you said you had any regrets, I would move him up. But my thought was he was the Cook's role, which was going to be a good player. It wasn't going to be a great player, outstanding player. It was going to be a good player, especially in the Sean Payton system. Like I said, Sean Payton's only had one dominant receiving option as far as a true wide receiver goes, and that was basically one year with Michael Thomas. Yeah, 1 year Michael Thomas.
All the other guys. More years with Michael Thomas if he would have been that screen pass in 2020 against Tampa trying to run the score.
Yeah. Outside of Michael Thomas, the only other bona fide receiving threat that was a beast as far as fantasy went was Jimmy Graham, but that was tight end technically. But
but Jimmy thought he was a receiver. That's why he didn't play for the Saints.
That's why he shipped his ass to Seattle.
You want to be a receiver? I'll show you. Go get Russell Wilson to throw you the ball.
That's right.
And
But Dan, it is funny because Dan's in the middle. Dan splits
He
me
is.
and you on every play.
he did.
Y'all,
He did.
look, I planned out everybody's stats for the entire year and figured out
Dan
what
is the
their fantasy
glue.
points are going to be. And this is just where he's going to be. I think he's better than 18th best receiver, but I think at year end, he's just going to be that. His talent is better than 18th best fantasy receiver. But his points won't be there.
It'll be interesting to see how it goes with
will.
him. He is one interesting case because I could see a world where Sean Payton schemes him into being a top 12. So
I like him.
100%.
I liked him in Miami. I always wanted him to be the wide receiver one in Miami. I hated that.
Tyreek just sucked up the targets with Mike McDaniel.
know.
Well, Tyreek was too good, and he deserved it. So, I mean, you can't
Well, he deserved it until like the last 2 years.
Well, yeah, but I mean, his talent.
Last year it should have been Waddle.
They weren't going to give Waddle more targets than him, being who he was.
Yeah.
So,
and how much they paid him.
Exactly. Which is why, we're going to see what
Zay
Flowers does. Zay Flowers, I think, he's got like the most guaranteed money among receivers after all the extensions signed this year.
Yep. All right, so we came to the end. That's all our wide receiver rankings. Before we exit, though, let's talk a little strategy. Okay. Would you take any of these wide receivers 101 over the running back?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just Jamar or Puka too?
Both of them.
Ooh. Okay.
For me,
I think. Oh, you go.
Go ahead. No, you go. Go ahead.
All four of them, I think, are going to perform very similarly. I think you can still get a really good running back. If you're drafting, 101 on the way back, you can still find other good running backs that can maybe get you up there. Like I've talked about Amari and Hampton. I think you may be able to swing them at the end of the second round. Maybe not, but there's still other good running backs. I don't think any of the receivers that you're going to find in that spot are likely to get you wide receiver one, like overall number one points. So if you want to get one of those top two receivers, I think you could and still get a really good running back on the way back. And that might not be as likely if you go the other route.
For me, it's Chase. I think over Puka slightly. Chase came out today, I believe it was, and basically said that his goal this year, and paraphrasing, of course, whatever it is, he wanted to get close to or tie the record for receiving touchdowns in a season, which was 23, set by Moss back in the day. And I think that him and Burrow have that kind of ego or attitude to where they could go after that. I mean, last year he had 1,700 yards, but he only had 10 touchdowns, which is a down year because I think the year before he had 17 receiving TDs. And Burrow targets him in the red zone. So for me, it's Jamar because I think I'm not saying he's going to get close to 23, but I can see him getting 15 plus TDs easily this year.
Yeah, no, I'm in agreement with you, Brad. If you're going to pick a guy at 101 as a receiver, you're going with Jamar. You're not going to take Puka at 101. Puka is just a little too risky because that offense could spread the ball around a little more. They may not.
Stafford's going to make the right play. Joe Burrow will force it to his guy.
Correct. Mm-hmm. So if you and look with Dan's argument with the 101 pick, if you get a receiver 101, you have a chance to get two stout running backs on the swing back. So that may be a good, even though everyone's going to laugh at you because you didn't take Bijan or Gibbs, you may be the one laughing. I mean, who was it in our league that we played? They took Justin Jefferson in 2023.
Yeah, shout out Trey. Trey took Jefferson 101, and we were like, what a dumbass anymore.
Yes, literally. Because if you go back and look at the draft, when he swung back around, he took two good running backs. Yep. And he got the best wide receiver in the league and two running backs. That got him a good top three compared to taking the running back and then getting some of these scrap heap wide receivers.
Yeah. No, 100%.
But yeah, any final thoughts? Any other additional strategy items you want to talk about with receivers? We're right at that hour mark.
I like to hammer a receiver late. Get your top guys. Go fill out the rest of your roster. If you miss out on wide receiver 3 or 4, so be it. In those last few rounds, fill out your bench spots. If you have 4 running backs or 3 running backs you like, maybe don't go try and hit on one of those. Take a few chances. Kind Guys like Romeo Dubs are falling. Jaden Reed, Matthew Golden, Jalen Coke are all guys you can get way late in the draft that could be wide receiver 1 or 2 on their own teams that are going to get a lot of targets, and they may surprise you come year end. So that's what I like to do. If I can get a couple receivers early, take a break, try and fill out the rest of the roster, and then those last few rounds, just hammer all the receivers that you like. Go get a Khalil Shakir, go get a Casey Concepcion, go get a Denzel Boston, get some of those rookies, and you try and hang on to them, and it's something good happens. Also, if it's season's going weird, drop them. Go pick up another running back. Go get a tight end if you need one. But I like to just go get a handful of them right at the end of the draft.
Yep. You're going to, as far as this year goes, because every year is different, but I believe this year you're going to win your draft on your mid-round receivers, like your rounds 5 through 8. That's where you're going to win your receivers, win your draft with your receivers, because running back falls off hard in those rounds. You're more likely to get a receiver that's going to produce than you are a running back in rounds 5 through 8 that's going to produce, barring injury. So I think, like Dan said, I do agree with him this year. Usually I'm a heavy receiver guy at the top, top part of the draft, but running back, I believe, is something you should address early. If you can get that top receiver guy, like I don't have any problem with that, but I do think this year's draft you should go top receiver, depending on where you're at, obviously. Then you need to address that running back room and have a solid starting running back core by like the 4th round. Otherwise, if you don't, you're going to be hurt.
That's some good strategy there. So, yeah, we're at the end of the show. We appreciate y'all for jumping in and listening to us, going through all of the wide receiver rankings. We hope you checked out our other fantasy ranking shows, as well as a strategy show that you're going to see coming up after this episode's released. We did already record that one, so there may be a little bit of discrepancies in our comments, but we're still going to give you that good strategy to try to help you win your league. Moving forward, we're going to switch a little bit of the content back to yearly predictions, just try to get those out of the way before the new year. But don't worry, we're going to swing back to fantasy and talk fantasy sports at least once a week, if not more, as the season progresses, trying to get you those hidden sleepers, those waiver wire pickups, and some other stuff. So continue to tune in and follow us at YouTube, X, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Instagram. We're everywhere. We'll hope to see you next time.